You can see where Einstein rejected the ether theory in a book called Universe and Dr. Einstein by Lincoln Barnett, London, 1949, page 38. Shut up.
Who cares? You're dead.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Because you're a moron.
You're dead.
Okay. See you later, guys.
Dead.
Later on, Nathan.
Idiot.
Later, Nathan.
Fucking fundamentalist zealot. And you're Jesus, buddy.
That's who you are.
Me? You're the one who has an imaginary Arab friend from 2,000 years ago.
How do you figure out wavelength?
You're the one who has an imaginary Arab friend from 2,000 years ago.
How do you figure out wavelength?
You have an imaginary friend.
How do you figure out wavelength?
From 2,000 years ago.
How do they figure out wavelength? That's all you got. You got nothing else.
You got an Arab friend, imaginary, from 2,000 years ago who you pay homage to.
Yeah.
Do you understand how stupid you are? Do you understand how dumb that is?
Boy, rent-free in the non's mind, quantum eraser's Arab friend. Oh my gosh.
Living rent-free.
Rent-free, Anon. You are so disturbed about the Arab friend that you want to tie it to ether. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm just telling you, I'm talking to fundamentalist zealots. Three of them.
Look who's
Three
the
zealots.
fundamentalist zealot arguing about someone that doesn't exist 2,000 years ago.
It's funny you
Why
have a
is it
zealot.
bothering you so much, Anon?
It's funny you have three zealots calling other people zealots.
Stick to your flashlight.
You have
Stick to
three
your flashlight
zealots.
in your wall.
You have three zealots.
Stick to your flashlight
making fun of other zealots. It's really
Stick to
comical.
your flashlight in your wall, Anon.
I did.
Breakfast time.
Yeah, go ahead. Choke on it. Yeah, doggy. What's up, buddy? Yo, what's up with your boy leaving the family of the queens and shit? The guy, Harry. That's what I'm thinking. He's kind of stuck in a palace that he doesn't belong to, and they killed his mom. So it's like, why am I here?
Yeah, I suppose if you put it like that. Yeah, Hewitt, he's definitely, like I say, he's definitely not Prince Charles.
A Windsor.
He's definitely not Prince Charles. He's definitely not a Windsor, and it's likely that he knows probably a lot of stuff that we're not privy to, and maybe he doesn't want to be a part of that. That's how I feel about it. Might be wrong, but it's interesting how.
So I guess they're coming to the U.S. Is that correct?
Canada, I think.
Oh, Canada. Okay.
Yeah, that should be interesting. And to be fair, they might just stay over there. They've given up the HRH titles as well, haven't they?
That's what I think. Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, I suppose when you look at it like that, how many people have given up that kind of title? Well, nobody has, have they? And why him?
Was he forced? I don't know. Man, I wish I was a fly on the wall in the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, I think they definitely know that he's definitely nothing to do with their family, their side of the family, and maybe they just wanted to shuffle him off to be forgotten about, perhaps. So what did I miss? Who's been arguing with whom?
Me fighting Kiwi as usual, but either.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I wouldn't say that I'm against the ether at all. If anything, I'm more a supporter of the ether than anything else. So that kind of puts me at odds with the guys here. But
I understand.
That's just the way it is. And it'd be interesting if we could actually repeat some of these experiments that they've done in the past. These the ways that they were able to determine.
Here. I'm gonna show you right now. It's kind of dark in here. I'll show you the wavelengths I'm talking about. We got a razor. Here. Let me go on mute for a second.
Okay. Chucky, you still there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, man?
Yeah, all good. Did you see last night's show?
Second. No, I can't watch your shows anymore, man. They fucking they keep stopping on me.
Yeah, you need
I
to.
have to
Yeah,
wait for them to
no, you have
get
to.
rendered first.
You have to uninstall YouTube on your Android phone and then reinstall it, and it will sort that problem.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was somebody told me yesterday in chat. I mean, I told them that they needed to update the phone, so they went ahead and they updated it and it fixed it. And they specifically told me it worked 100% perfect once they reinstalled YouTube. You just have to unload the app and then reinstall it again. Dead easy.
But that's crazy. Why does that only happen with your videos, though?
It's not just my. Well, it's an Android phone, isn't it? I suppose.
Right.
But it worked for them. I mean, they were doing it in chat last night because I was actually telling people in chat on the, typing it out, saying, "Look, you need to do this," and then they were coming back and saying, "Yeah, it's working fine now. Yeah, sorted, excellent. Problem solved. Blah 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 blah." So
Yeah, I could give it a whirl.
cool. It only takes a few minutes to do anyway.
All right.
So what are you showing here and on?
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So you see this? Here's your laser.
Yeah.
This is 2 razor blades. See?
Yeah.
There are 2 razor blades that are stuck into what do you call it? Cork. Just the gap is so tiny between them. It's a tiny gap. Put it right here. There's my stupid laser. Oops. It's more than just a laser, apparently. All right. There it is. I shine it. Usually, it's just a big old circle. All right. Big old circle.
Yeah.
Hold on, buddy. On shapes. There you go. I'm gonna shine it right up.
Yeah, your screen's frozen at the minute and on.
Oh, it is. Better?
Not yet.
Still frozen?
Still frozen. Oh, there we go. Right. Pop it back on. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can see something now.
All right. So here's the laser. Here's the razor. 2 of them. There's my laser.
Yeah.
And then remember there was a big old dot on the wall?
Yeah.
I'm gonna point the laser right in between the 2. Boom. Now you see that? Yeah, baby. Hold on 1 second, baby. I gotta show this, guys.
I do.
Boom. Some of the gaps you can't see it on because the resolution blows, but if you look at it with your actual eye, there are tiny lines that go all the way from there to here. That is a clear fringe interference pattern. Nothing else causes this except waves interfering with each other. That's it. There's no way around this. I don't know what you want from me. Hold on, baby. I'm done.
Cheers, Anon, for that. What do you say to that, Chucky?
Huh?
What have you got to say about that, Chuck?
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on.
You there, Chocolate?
Probably nothing.
Yo,
He hasn't
what
watched the
happened?
video I sent him.
What happened, man? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit busy at work.
Oh right, no worries. If you missed
going
it, if you missed it, you missed it. That's fine. Oh, it's a dead after show today, isn't it? John's gone very quiet.
John's choking on a bacon.
Choking. You mean he joined
Choking on
without
some bacon and sausage. That's what he's doing.
he joined without having his
Hopefully.
breakfast? Hopefully.
I hope he says grace before he eats.
We'll have to ask him when he comes back.
Thank Dairy Gold and the meat factories for providing him meat. You know, thank Jesus.
See, obviously you two don't get along very well. Is there any way of rectifying that?
It's not up to me. I tried several times to like throw him a bone, like months ago, but it's over. There's no. It's like it's not gonna happen.
So what does it all boil down to? Is it like just a?
I think I'm a crayon munching window looker, so you can't talk to a crayon munching window looker. Come on, man, I'm a window looker. Don't you realize?
And is this all over ether?
Essentially, yeah, really. I mean, I agree with him. I learned a lot from him. I learned, a lot of things that he says make sense, but I'm not gonna follow him like a fucking cult leader and believe everything he says and parrot everything he says that he parrots. So yeah, I mean, but my main, obviously the whole quantum nonsense and ether. Yeah, that's basically where it comes down to. I mean, I get his, you can't have gas pressure without a container. It's brilliant. It's 100% true.
What do you think of the platform observation?
It's great. I mean, it's a nail, man. There's so many nails, but it doesn't matter how many times you nail it down, the globe keeps on walking like a fucking zombie. So I don't know how. I don't know how you're gonna wake people up. It's not gonna. I'm fairly comfortable with the idea that this shit's not gonna get anywhere in my lifetime. You need like several generations to die off. You need 3 or 4 generations to die off for this mental illness to fully eradicate itself from the psyche of humans. Not in my lifetime. I mean, maybe in my lifetime you have like 20% of the people, which is like huge, that don't believe in the sphere anymore. But like I said, you gotta wait for people to die off.
It's interesting you say 20% because I think the official, or what they say is the official, is something like 2%.
Yeah, maybe.
And but still, that's a huge amount.
I mean, I'm being very generous. I'm being very optimistic to say 20% of my lifetime.
So John was listening, the little shithead, because he just dropped when his Skype was ringing.
Yeah, and he said he's gonna go choke on a sausage. So I know he was there.
So yeah, talking about this, obviously, how long would you say you've known about Flat Earth?
I don't know. It's been a while, since 2014 maybe. 2014 is when I watched that Math Powerland. Same thing, that photo or painting.
But do you think back then though it was more just a case of it was just putting it out there? See, we didn't have any answers back then, did we?
No, I mean I definitely not. The only thing was the 6-hour long documentary by Eric Dubay, which really breaks it down. I mean, he had some of these points way back then, but like it took me a while. It wasn't. Nathan says he got it instantly, but for me it wasn't like that. I mean, I used to ignore. I used to 100% avoid it because I thought it was a psyop 100%. There's no way, But after I saw the Math Powerland and the Eric Dubay, I was going back and forth, like for maybe a year or two. Some days I think it's flat. Some days I'd be like, "There's no fucking way, dude." And then eventually, the more and more and more you dig, at some point you're just like, holy shit, there's no fucking way it's a sphere. So now it just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even 3 or 4 years ago when I first got into this, it was like it was just based purely back then on mainly observations. You know, I mean, there was you'd see too far, and I think Nathan, the start of his channel, when I first joined, which was around about episode 60 or something, up until that point, it was just filled with globers, and it was only when I started bringing in these observations that defied their globe model. It was just perfect timing actually, because I could go down every single day, see Barrow and Furnace 18 miles away, and it crapped all over their sphere mathematics, you know, and but that's all we had back then. We see it because it's there. It's just too far. We didn't have any of the arguments we have now.
No, a lot of them are thanks to John. Some of those are just like bulletproof, but now with all the stuff we have, I don't know how they still manage to believe in the sphere. I saw the Taboo. I made my wife watch Taboo Conspiracy's new video. I don't know if it's new with Nathan in there. Have you seen that one?
I haven't
I think
yet.
Yeah, I made her watch it finally. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, there was I forget what I was going to say now. Yeah, I mean, just a few days ago when I had Ruhif on, you've heard the phrase. Now I'm sure you've heard this phrase: infinite over 7R refraction. Yeah.
Yeah, 7/R.
Infinite.
Like,
No, infinite over 6.
No, what's that? I know that the standard refraction makes it so the Earth is bigger than it actually is. So if you divide Earth into 6 pieces, you add extra 1/7. It makes it that much bigger. Hence, you see further. But as far as infinity, I don't know what you're talking about.
So they've replaced 7 over 6. They've not gone to 8 over 6 or 9 over 6 or 10 over 6 or 11 over 6.
Anything over 6.
Infinite over 6. Infinite. So essentially,
that's awesome.
You could see 100 miles across a flat plane. Let's just say you could on one particular day, 100 miles, and it will be infinite over 6R refraction that's bringing it back. It's still not flat.
What do they do? Why do they even do 6th anymore? They only did 6 because 7th over 6th was a number that matched. So you don't even have to do 6th anymore. You can just do the infinity. Just that. Could be. You don't need the 6th anymore. What the hell is the 6th for?
Yeah, it's just infinite refraction. That's it.
Yeah.
And they've got a slider that they can slide on Walter Bislin's little refraction calculator that will just do the same. Infinite refraction. Boom. And their world is all better then. They feel comfortable once they've sort of like allowed this idea to sink in that they can have infinite refraction, then their globe has come back. It's preposterous.
100%. Another thing that was really nailed this for me is the gyroscope. It's the airplanes, and gyros wouldn't work without traveling over a level plane. Gyros just by themselves destroy it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've seen these low-flying planes, yeah? How low they get to the ocean floor. To the sea level. They're only about 40 or 50 feet off the water. These low-flying jets that they practice in, the RAF and all different countries, flying like 400 or 500 miles an hour from just 40 feet or so above the water. Well, if it was curving, how would they maintain that 40 feet at that speed?
Same with submarines. Submarines are the same thing. They all have gyro-based leveling, trying to figure out where they are. Like the gyroscope just does not work. And I'm not talking about a ring laser. Just talking about standard gyroscope from like World War One. I mean, those planes also had gyroscopes. And look, I got one. I got one right here. Want to see it?
Sure, yeah.
A gyro.
Hey, Tony.
Fuck you, motherfuckers.
See this bad boy?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I also remove the pendulous vanes my problem is it's a vacuum-based gyro, and my vacuum is not strong enough. So I gotta give me a new vacuum somehow to spin it properly.
What you need to do is you need to try and build a vacuum chamber out of some of the materials they used on that tweaker hut that they sent to the moon. Because that can repel the vacuum of space. So if that can hold it back, you just need some duct tape.
Yeah. Here's the stupid pendulous veins you keep hearing about. But my pendulous veins right here. You can pop them out. I popped them out.
Does anybody know what the current position is from the ballers with regards to the horizon behind the platform point?
Yeah, thumbs up their asses.
Have they got a position?
Yes.
No.
Yes, they have.
What is the position currently?
Infinite over 6R refraction.
Really? Is that what they've come up with?
Yes, infinite over 6. Not
So
7,
basically,
not
right?
7
So
over
basically,
6.
you know when they say to us, "Why can't you see New York from Paris or whatever?" And we say because there's numerous reasons, but whatever answer we give, they just go, "Nah." If that's the case with no reaction, right, it means that we now can do the same thing, because it means that we're never ever going to be able to test the nature of Earth with a P900 at the horizon. But yet they tell us boats go over the horizon, right?
Yep.
Hey, radio check.
Yeah. You there, John?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, infinite over 6. Infinite over 6R refraction. That's the new one. So it doesn't matter how far we see. We could see 10,000 miles. It would just be infinite refraction.
How fucking thick
Can't
would you be to believe that?
Can't refract the horizon.
Say again,
Well,
John.
yeah, that was the other thing. What if they said about refracting the horizon?
Yeah, you can't
So did
refract
they
the
accept that the
horizon.
horizon is physical?
Oh my god. Verbal fucking diarrhea. I just went over this step by step in the presentation yesterday.
I'm not asking you to go over it with your presentation. I'm asking you for what they're saying about it.
Who gives a shit what they say? They don't know what refraction is.
Why haven't we heard this infinite refraction before? Is it because now they're scrambling the jets trying to find a reasoning behind this?
That's the most moronic remark I've ever heard. Greater than infinite refraction. He just pulled it out of his ass like the religious zealot that he is. He's a moron. So that doesn't mean to go chase after it, flat earthers. Okay? This is I'm going to make a thumbnail with flat earthers. You ever see like a dog fight between planes or like submarines when the enemy, fires like a torpedo at them and the fired on like submarine puts out countermeasures, right? Dumbass flat earthers will then aim at the countermeasures and leave the enemy go. So get your heads out of your asses. All right? Okay?
I forgot about that part that you said, greater than. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. Tony, it's greater than infinite 7 over 6, infinite over 6R.
He has to be. Is this come from Ruhif?
This has come from Ruhif.
That's where it's come from, and they've all bought it.
Well, it's come from Ruhif, but I actually feel that, because he's part of their servers, isn't he? So they're probably talking about it there. And we were talking specifically about the platform observation, and this is what he came up with: greater than infinite refraction. Sorry, greater than infinite over 6 refraction.
They're all a bunch of fucking morons.
How is anything physically possible to be more than infinite? The only place that conception even exists is in math.
Yeah.
And that's the only place it exists in.
Exactly. Having greater than infinite, it was basically a tongue-in-cheek, it doesn't really matter kind of thing. I don't know, Ruhif had to be trolling with that remark, because greater than infinite, it's like, you can't have greater than infinite.
Oh, yeah, right. Because he knows that he'll get flat earthers to follow those idiotic countermeasures, like y'all are doing right now.
What's that countermeasure?
I'm not.
You're talking about his moronic statement of greater than infinite refraction. It's
right. And why is it moronic? Pointing out exactly why.
You have to explain why.
No, we're pointing it out.
Some people out there, not everybody knows by heart constantly, is constantly aware that infinity in physical reality is kind of not really possible, and that greater than infinite is by far just ridiculous and outrageous.
And you're still talking about it. That is so hilarious. I
Yep.
got another question. Ranty,
Yes.
how many times
Yes.
does Dean Retard Stingray have to be in your vicinity for you to bring up the observation that he couldn't explain, your 18-mile 1-foot observation that he couldn't explain in FED 345 or somewhere around the 340 mark, right?
Well, when I had him on, I was actually looking for that image because I've got so much stuff to look through. And by the time I found it, I actually put it on screen, and then he had to go. So it was like, you know, I had him because I thought, oh yeah, John wants me to get into him about this. But now, where did I put that bloody image? So I'm checking through all my hard drives, you know. Finally found it.
That should be your number one image.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah. Oh, I've just got that much. And
Now you need to prioritize it and put it number one somewhere you could reach it very quickly. I can reach it faster than you.
But on saying that, John, it's very difficult to think very fast on the fly when things are happening quick.
That's horse shit.
That's not. I'm supporting Ranty for not thinking about it because it's really easy not to think about stuff.
Yeah, because you're Rantony.
Yeah, but I feel his pain. I know what it's like to look back on a hangout and go, "Fuck, I should have said that, this, the other."
Well, it's the elephant.
And remember, Ranty does get down and dirty, John. You don't come out your safety net.
Yeah, I know. I'm quivering in my boots right now.
Yeah.
I know. You know what it is? I lack confidence.
to do
Only
what?
with women.
So
Nice one.
what do you say, John, when people keep saying to you, "Go on cam, go on cam"? What have you got to say to that? Go on.
Well, number one, I don't have a camera now because I got the new computer and my new displays, so that's an impossibility. That ain't happening. And I don't think I could fit, like a camera on top of any of my displays. That ain't gonna happen. I got about maybe in between a quarter and a half an inch on one display and 1 inch on it. It's not happening.
That's very small, that, John. Do you struggle with day-to-day activities?
Well, your sister doesn't mind.
Like urinating.
I'm talking about the clearance above my monitor. So
No,
I think it's more like an ad hom because they have to go somewhere else other than the actual arguments.
Yeah, of course. That's why they always distract away from points. We say, like, well, why is the horizon behind the platforms? And they go, well, let's look at the cranes and the wobbly lines. Yeah,
because
you can explain
they
that.
know to get you to go with that. You did it the other night.
I know. I do like arguing about the bendy lines, though. I'm sorry.
Do you know what those
I won't
bendy?
do it again.
Do you know that arm that's coming out? Do you know it's a flare boom
Yeah. Yes.
that vents hot gases?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Just thought you'd know. Well, or try and inform me about that.
Now, it's not a flare boom. It's a boat.
It's a buoy.
Is it a buoy or a boy? I always thought it was pronounced boy.
I think I don't know.
It's buoy.
Yeah, I think Americans call it buoys. I think we call them boys.
Yeah,
You
but
call
you
them boy?
Yeah, but we can't
What do
say
you
there's a
call them?
buoy. There's a buoy in the water. You can't say.
That's very confusing.
I know what Tony's saying though, because we do tend to say that here.
Really?
Yeah, and I've taken the American way of saying it because it makes more sense to me.
I think it might just be one of those American tomato things.
Oh, pull up. Go ahead. Pull up the pronunciation of buoy.
Pull
I
up
can't
the-
be asked. I was just
Everyone
curious.
wants it.
It's not that important.
Yeah, I want to hear English. I want to hear the actual authentic English pronunciation for boy.
Well, how
I can't do
do you do that?
Hold on a second.
I'm playing City Skyline at the minute, so I can't be asked coming out of it.
Jeez, oh man. All right, hold on a second.
You've
It's
turned
really
into,
good, this City Skyline. Ranty should have bought it when it was on sale.
You've turned into a rat bum, Tony.
But that's not a very nice thing to say.
Soon you'll be a Glober.
I honestly don't know how these Globers can maintain their the dignity with these arguments that we're battering them with recently. It's ridiculous.
Indeed. In answer to the platform question, though, you cannot have the fucking platforms in front of the horizon because
Yeah, I
the
agree.
platforms physically are in their model behind the fucking horizon. So you can't,
Yeah, but
you
they're
can't
saying
have
it's an
it.
optical horizon rather than a physical horizon, and therefore they can do what the fuck they want.
Yeah, but you can't.
No
You
evidence.
can't swap it. You can't swap that. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know. Well, what came first in their model? The horizon comes first before the platforms. So you can't have the horizon beyond the platforms. It's just
Exactly.
that simple.
Yeah, it's real simple. It's over, right? Yeah, that's. I like it because it's quick. Yep. No, hey, listen, I found it. You ready?
Yeah.
Tell me if you hear it.
Boy.
Yeah, boy.
That's what she says.
Boy.
Boy. Yep. It's how to pronounce buoy in British English. So she said boy. You guys are right.
Okay, type in boy and see what she says. See if she says it, she says boy the same as she says boy.
No, she'll pronounce the O more.
Well, let's see.
Boy.
Let's see.
All right, hold on. Boy in British.
Like flavor.
English. Oh, here she is. Okay, here it comes.
Boy.
It's the same. It's the same. It's exactly the same.
So there must be a silent U in it then.
Buddy.
There's a boy in the water.
That's it. I was just thinking that, Randy. Yeah.
Better than a shark in the water.
Well, let's get her on screen. Hold on a second. I'll share my screen. Let me pull her back up again. So, buoy in British English. We got to do this proper, Randy. All right, let's get her over here. Let's get her ready.
Who'd have thunk the argument ever came towards talking about boys in this context?
Yeah, stop talking about boys and let's get back to the boat that it really was.
Wait a second. Wait a
There's
second.
no difference in British and English concerning the word boat, John.
Wait a second. All right, let me share my screen. We got to iron this point out. Arwen, just hold on. All right, Ranty, tell me when you got me.
You're on. Go ahead.
All right, this is how to pronounce boy in British English.
Boy. Boy.
Yeah, boy. And what about buoy?
Looks like she's constipated. All right, here's buoy in British English.
Boy.
Normally it's the English laughing at the Americans, but this time I think might have to give it to you, John.
Oh boy.
You're gonna...
Oh boy.
Are you sure it's boy and not buoy?
All right, Arwen, you can take over.
I don't need to take over.
There is a boy in the water.
Yeah. I'm now starting to wonder as to the origins of the buoys. Did they start out just like chaining boys?
Yeah, I wonder where the word
Ocean floor.
buoy comes from.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't the first four letters coincide with buoyancy?
Oh yeah, it must be a derivative of buoyancy. Yeah, it must be buoyant. Yeah, you're right. It must be.
Chocolate.
So buoyancy,
It has to
buoyancy.
be it.
Yeah. So if it was buoy, it would be buoyancy, wouldn't it? So we must be right on this one then, John.
How did you get you were right out of all
Boy.
that?
But isn't it boy? Really? And you're just sloppy because you're British.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Buoyancy.
if it derives from buoyancy,
Buoy.
then boy would be the right word, would be the right spelling and word. But you guys then I would say mispronounce it as buoy because it's not buoyancy, is it? It's buoyancy.
Correct. I think you're right. I think Americans
But
just
it's buoyancy. Like boy. It starts the entrance is kind of from the U, buoyancy. So it's not buoyancy.
It's still, nonetheless, it's an interesting thing we've all learned. English spell it wrong but pronounce it correct. Americans spell it right but mispronounce it.
It's like
I see where the independence was really about.
Center. We say center. It always tries to give the American spelling, and it's like, no, we spell it differently.
I think we can spell it both ways though, Ranty. I've seen it both, like center ER, and I've seen it centra ERE at the end.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I've seen it both.
Hey, I got her with buoyant. You ready? Ranty, you sharing?
I am, yeah.
Here she comes.
Buoyant.
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 I don't know. Doesn't sound like British.
No.
More like an American trying to be very strictly British.
How does she say vagina?
God.
Or breast.
Oh, this is circling the drain. All right, that'll be about enough.
So is that a YouTube channel then that you've just gone to?
I just hit the words, whatever word it is, and then I say pronounce in British English. Yeah, it's YouTube. 1 second. Yes, it's Collins A through Z. I think they go through all the words in the Collins dictionary, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
That's a lot. My God, so that woman literally had to pronounce on camera every freaking word in the dictionary. Oh my God. And get it right. Who checked if she got it right with every freaking word?
The bread.
River.
Yeah, who actually like peer reviewed if she got every pronunciation correct? Because I don't think anybody checked really, unless she got like this certificate of the Dictionary Institute or whatever it's called.
Oh, they have other people doing them too, not just her. So let's do leisure, or what we pronounce as leisure.
Leisure.
Ah, there's my British.
You could shut up, then we could hear. Shut the hell up.
Leisure. Leisure.
So leisure. That was a different woman, though.
How did they say Arwin?
That's not a word in the dictionary.
Funny. Origin.
You're gonna have to look up the Elven dictionary for that one.
I think Anon got it right there. Origin.
No, that's
I got that from that drunk.
That's the Dell dictionary.
There's a drunk that comes here all the time. I forget his name. Calls him Origin.
It could be a separate N, a silent N. Arwige.
No.
Isn't it RV?
No, Arvine. A. Yeah.
Isn't that how Apollo says it?
A.
Let's
say
try.
it. Say it. Say A. You
Oh,
can't.
here we
You
go.
don't
Shut
even
the
have
hell up.
freaking power. Aye.
Shut up! Let's. Nathan always says schedule.
I
So
say
I
win.
Yes.
he just can't shut the fuck up, can he?
I can talk sometimes too. You know, I've been away for half an hour, so
Can you leave for half an hour again?
no.
You two, you need to get a room.
No.
Thi-
No, we don't. He just needs to eat more.
Verbal diarrhea all the time. We're on a mission here.
Schedule.
Yeah, we're on schedule.
Schedule.
It's
There he
schedule.
goes again.
Schedule.
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 You're right. That's the way she said it.
What?
Woohoo!
Schedule.
God.
Schedule.
Yep.
That's weird.
Here, let's get a visual on this. It's better with visual. So let's try to. All right, shut the hell up. She's gonna say it twice.
Schedule. Schedule.
So she's in a schedule.
Yes.
If I said schedule at work, I get make fun of.
All right, give me
so
another one.
how do you say it?
Schedule.
Oh,
Yeah.
schedule. Right. Schedule. Yeah, I think we say both.
No, we say schedule.
All right, give me another one.
Advertisement.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Advertisement.
Advertisement.
The fuck is an advertisement?
We gotta do aluminum.
Oh, that's next.
Aluminium.
There we go.
Advertisement.
Ooh, that's a bit of an Irish.
Holy fuck! You just can't shut the fuck up, can you?
Kenny Balls.
My word, Matt. Let me do it again.
Advertisement. Advertisement.
Well, how do you say it?
Advertisement.
Advertisement.
You do.
So, what's the next one? Aluminum?
Aluminium.
That's messed up because they add extra letters.
Extra syllables.
Aluminium. Yeah.
The
All right, here we
Americans
go.
just shorted it. So.
I'm gonna say it twice.
Aluminium. Aluminium.
What the hell's in your face?
There's an extra I.
All right, next one.
Is that even correct? Aluminium?
What the fuck is a kudos?
Respect.
Nathan always gives them. Yeah, we say kudos.
Kudos.
Do you say privacy or privacy?
Private.
Oh, that's the one.
Privacy.
Yeah, we say privacy.
Why would anyone say privacy? Because the word is
here we
private.
go.
I've never heard privet.
Privilege?
All right.
Here we
Anything else?
Privacy.
go. Oh!
Privacy.
No, that's new to me, and I'm British. And I don't say
fuck?
privacy. I say privacy.
Wow. Okay.
You're not British enough, Ranty.
Well, he must be
So
Southern.
then is privet privet?
Privet, yeah. This is a privet area.
No,
that's
no,
weird.
they still say private.
Really?
It's just
It's not
privacy.
So
Tony,
Yo.
how do you say privacy?
I say both. Privacy, privacy. Depends on who I'm talking to and whether I'm trying to speak properly or not. Could be either though.
I've always said privacy. Privacy.
If I say it to my mum, I'd say privacy.
All right, what's the next one?
Either, alphabet, often.
Nah, that's a weak one.
I don't know actually. What else does Nathan say?
Specialty and speciality.
Fuck off. Is it fuck off or fuck off?
What was Thingy doing today? Fucking trolling like fuck. What's his name? Lemon Bird.
Nah, he got hung up on the ether. Thought that the ether could replace air in a vacuum and really weird things.
Blaming chocolate.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I'll take the blame. Why not?
Because he thinks Lemon Bird's okay. I think he's an absolute penis.
Bird's fine. It's just when he's talking about this ether shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's going on?
Right.
Other than that, I don't have beef with the guy.
I hate to talk about ether.
Why?
You can't avoid it.
Because I accept that there's no evidence for it, but I also accept that if you drop a stone in a water, the medium that it drops into, the water, ripples because the medium's there, right? In the same way that if you speak, the sound waves ripple through the medium, the air waves, because there's air there.
Yeah.
But in a vacuum, I accept that there's no medium for the sound to propagate through. But some people say that you don't need a medium for light, and I'm like, maybe you do.
Right. That's right, because matter is the medium for light, but it has an exact opposite relation with its medium, because the less medium is there to absorb the light, the more it will transfer through. And that's quite the opposite with waves, because light is not a wave, but people mistake it for a wave because they constantly think that the double slit shows a wave, which it doesn't, but they keep persisting on it because somebody in the past thought it was a smart thing to call it a wave function. Idiot.
It's not a wave function. You want to see it? You want to see it?
What?
Here it is.
What?
Hold on. This is just a circular dot.
Yeah.
I have hold on. I have a single slit. It's not a double slit. It's just going between the two.
Yeah.
There are two razor blades right here. Now, I'm going to move the light.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's called single slit diffraction, you moron.
Yeah, so why does it have a pattern that's only caused by
It's
waves?
single slit diffraction. Oh my god.
Hey, okay. Hey,
You
explain
gotta
it.
be some type of moron, dude. They've been doing this for 100 years.
Yeah, and apparently you still can't get it.
Oh
You
my,
still don't
yeah.
get it.
It's single slit diffraction. That's all it is. You're
Okay,
fucking.
so how does a photon?
I'm not
create
getting
a
into
wave?
this with you because you're a
Okay, of course
retard.
not.
I've already
Okay,
dealt with this on many occasions. I put videos out on this. I'm not
Right.
talking to you about this because you are
Okay,
a
go on
moron.
mute. Go on mute.
That's
All right, I'm a moron. So
You
Arwen,
are.
You see? Okay, go ahead on mute. I'm a moron. I'm an idiot. I'm talking to Arwen, who you assume is an idiot.
Some differences in American English and British English
Now you're
pronunciation.
gonna rumpus.
In order to
Can
do
you see
that,
this?
I've teamed up with my
Pathetic
American colleague,
weasel.
Rachel, who is going to introduce herself
What
to
are
you
you
now.
looking at?
I'm Rachel, and I have a YouTube channel called Rachel's English. My channel focuses on American English
Oh, a
pronunciation.
laser. Cool.
There are videos that go over the specific mouth position for each sound, videos that focus on the rhythm of American English, linking, and videos that show you how
scared.
the characteristics of American English.
Put
There
this
are over
bullshit on.
250 videos with 2 added each week. I hope
What
you'll
is
check
this?
them out.
Okay, this is not really interesting, John.
What?
Not.
There isn't a huge difference between the
called
way
rumpusing.
Americans or
This is
British
called-
people pronounce it. However,
called-
listen to me saying the
Answer my
following
fucking question.
and
Okay,
then listen
I'm leaving because John's
Rain.
breaking.
Rain.
John's a fucking moron.
drain.
Called sabotage, John.
Yep.
for your own
Yeah,
personal
pathetic.
likings.
You
Say
pathetic
again?
loser.
Called sabotage.
Sabotage what?
Sabotage the conversation because it's not to your liking.
We've already had this conversation.
Yeah, but
Thousands
this is not your hangout, John.
of
This
hard.
is not
and
your
you
freaking
have to
hangout, John. This
the-
is not Ballbusters.
But don't
You can't
overcome
always assert like you are the ruler of everything.
me,
He
clown
thinks
show.
he's a cult leader.
Yeah.
That's what he
No,
is.
he's
He
not a
thinks he's
cult leader, but you can think of him as a cult leader, but he's not. Problem
I'm
is
not
that
gonna
he
think of him
thinks
as a
that
cult
he
leader.
is always the king, and he's not.
That's what a cult
You
leader
need
does.
to adapt to where you are, like I do as well. You know, I act my way on my
Yeah.
show. Then I go to Nathan's, and then I adapt to Nathan's.
We're
When
not-
I'm
yeah,
on Ranties, I adapt to Ranties. And
Yeah,
we're
we
now in an after show.
yeah.
And it's
We
not
un-
your after show. Are you recording this?
I'm recording this.
Right. So that means that it's pretty much going to be a Ranty show.
Yeah, and
Please stop acting like it's a Ballbusters episode. It's not.
the Ballbusters episode. I'm doing English versus British
Yeah, but
pronunciation.
the conversation kind of moved on.
So what?
And then you rumpused it by playing a video that's obviously
What did
not
the conversation move on to?
Ether.
Ether. What's ether?
Yeah, and the misconceptualization of it. There's a lot to say about it because it is such a
What's
misconceptualization.
ether?
Yeah.
Tony brought it up.
You need to learn that it's wrong. You can't
What's
just say
ether?
it's wrong and leave.
What's ether?
Tony, what's ether?
The suggested medium that light traverses through.
Right. Well, that's wrong. But
No,
yeah.
it doesn't traverse through.
John.
It's just a disturbance of it. Light is a disturbance of.
John, serious question.
Well,
Without
you're being disturbed by it.
John, shut up. Without being funny, John. What if water ripples because it's a medium and air vibrates because it's a medium? Why is it not a logical thought that light must need a medium to traverse through? Why is that not logical?
Post the syllogism again.
Why are you assuming it is like light and wave? Well, why are you assuming that? Why are you assuming light is in that category?
Because it.
I'm not
waves
asking you. I'm asking Sleep.
and
I'm
it has properties that.
asking Tony, Anon.
I'm not making assumptions. I'm just using the logic that I see it as, which is basically, well, water's a medium, air's a medium. Perhaps light needs a medium to go through as well.
Why? Why would it need a medium?
Because you see the pattern.
Well, can you
Up.
Not.
if you chuck a rock in water and it makes a ripple, right? If you chuck a rock in where water used to be, but there's no water there anymore, there's no ripple anymore, right? If you
What
take
is
that
a ripple,
and
Tony?
try speaking, you can't speak.
What
So
is a ripple?
So to me, it makes logical sense that there might be an ether and a medium for that light to propagate through, because the other things need mediums too.
Yeah, but these other things are effects you are describing, which are secondary to matter. So that's what it is. That's what waves are. Well, light is not that. Light is its own energy. It's a separate thing. It is not an effect.
Prove that.
And therefore, it can also exist with less matter. It actually transfers even better when there's less matter. So you can't categorize it into waves because it's not.
I literally just demonstrated
What?
on my wall.
No, you
how
didn't. You showed a
have
wave pattern. It's
pattern.
caused by diffraction. It's a mistake. because there's
Exactly.
no wave
Diffraction
going on.
only- Diffraction is what?
Tony,
Diffraction is
ask a
waves.
question. Shut
Diffraction
up.
is waves
Shut up.
interfering with each other.
Tony, ask a question. Tony, ask your question again. And shut the hell up, Anon. He didn't ask you, did he?
Doesn't matter.
It
It's not your
does.
show.
I'm asking John. I am asking John. And
Diarrhea.
John's
You're
not going to answer you.
you will.
You're a crayon muncher.
I'll go on mute.
It does matter, Anon. This is why you get annoying sometimes. Somebody asks John a question and now you want to answer. And then say it doesn't matter because
I'll
you
go
just
on
want
mute
to
and
answer.
Let's watch him answer. Let's
Yeah,
watch him
and
answer.
first you accuse John of not getting into the subject, then we get back into the subject, and then you start rumpusing. Okay, so who's the rumpus? Just let the
Nothing.
conversation happen. Okay.
So, John, my question is, if you chuck a rock into water and it ripples because there's water there, the water's the medium and you need the water to ripple. If you speak in the air, the molecules vibrate, apparently, And without the air in a vacuum chamber, you can't propagate sound through it because you need the air to vibrate to give you the sound. It makes sense to me logically that you might need a medium because light needs to traverse something to be seen. Otherwise, it would just fail to illuminate. Why is that not a logical position?
So what is the medium? Are you calling the light the medium or the principle?
I don't know. I'm just saying that for the other two things to do something with water and air, the water and air has to be present.
Okay, so air is present and light travels through air, correct?
Sure. But what if because of the ripples of sound and the vibrations of the molecules in the air are because of the medium's existence? What if it makes just logical sense that light would need somewhere to propagate through?
Yeah.
Personally, anyway. And I'm not saying it's at least logical to think that it exists.
I couldn't hear
what
you.
What it needs is space. It needs literal volume. It doesn't need matter to propagate. The less matter there is, the better it propagates, because matter actually absorbs it, decreasing its output. So that is the nature of it. Light is separate. It is separate. It is its own thing. It is not an effect of matter like waves. It is a separate thing, and it can exist as it is in matter or in the lack thereof.
Thanks,
it's
John.
Not in the same category.
Thanks, John. I feel like you answered my question comprehensively. Then you did it without moving your lips.
We're not going to get anywhere here, Anthony. I think we've already discussed this at length, so it's just an old topic.
Yeah, and you're just dangling keys in front of your own face at this point.
Look at that wave.
You're dangling keys.
Pattern.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It's really nice. It's a pattern. It's the key to everything. It's the pattern. But that's not a proof that it's a wave. To interpret that is a mistake.
Okay.
Because there's no wave happening. There's not a wave happening. It's just a pattern as that correlates to
the only thing that causes this pattern is waves interfering with each other. That's what diffraction is. When waves interfere with each other constructively and deconstructively.
No. That's not what diffraction is.
Showing it to you on my wall.
Diffraction, the cause of this effect is the substance, matter, or light, which I think personally is not matter, it's just energy, but that's my opinion in this case, moving past a surface of matter. And that close passage changes the course. And that is the diffraction in a very specific pattern. Naturally, that happens, causing this split up of light, because it's not waving, it's a split up in a very specific sequence that seems to be wave-like, as if it were a ripple wave. But it's not. It's just a pattern correlation. It's not literally a wave. It's not waving. It's all straight lines that have 1 point of deviation at the slits. It's not waving.
If the light was simply splitting, you would only get the two, because I'm
not listening, are you? The light is not waving.
Not listening.
It's all straight lines from the slit on. It's not.
It's not a straight line. You can see when you cut it, you have you cut it once with one. You can even try it with a single pin. You don't need two razors like I have.
That's
you can just
fine.
do it with a single pin.
But you haven't.
There is no slits. Listen to me.
From the point of for diffraction on, it's a straight line. You're not responding to it. Straight lines means not wave. It means not wave.
It's not a straight
line.
Not a wave.
It's a straight line from the split point on. Why don't you just listen to what I'm saying here?
Because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Not
when you split it. When you split it, if you split it and you'd only get 2 or 3, depending on how many times you sliced it, if that was actual rays being split. But the fact that you get almost an endless sea of these ripples, of these bands, fringe bands, they're called fringe bands of, you can see the wave interfering constructively. And what?
A cascade of split-offs, breaks. I get it. Yeah. But guess what? The nature of those breaks, right? The nature of those breaks. Can you listen to the nature of the breaks, right? At the point where it's going to split off, right? From that point on, it's a straight line. So it's
What are you
not
talking about?
the wave interference pattern. That's literally
That's
ripples.
literally what it's
That's how it's
called.
represented, right? The wave pattern like ripples. Well, that's not happening because it's all straight lines from the breakpoint on. Am I getting through to you yet, Anon?
No, you just
No,
you
I'm
just
not. Yeah,
fucking
that's
yapping.
picking up. You're a retard. You're an abject retard. You're not
Okay, now you
listening.
go. All right,
You can't
sure.
allow yourself to figure out that light is not a wave by
It's a wave.
ignoring the absolute proof that it can be. Because from the breakpoint on, it's a straight line. Waves don't do that. And on. That's not wave behavior. Every time the wave pattern is demonstrated in the visual, you get to see ripples. Well, that's not what it is. It's all straight lines from the breakpoint on. Get over it.
You done? Okay. The only thing that causes the pattern that you see that's reflected on my wall is when you have
diffraction.
exactly. So what is diffraction? Hold
That's
on.
what causes
What
it.
is diffraction?
It's the bending of light, in this case light, by going past a flat surface at very close proximity.
No, forget light.
A deviation happens. Well, and if the situation becomes a little bit more complex, like with two slits, then a cascade can happen. But it's all going to be bent, all in a specific point at the slits, after which it all goes in straight lines from there on. No more deviation, no more bending. Nothing that would correlate with what waves would do, which you misinterpret it as. It's just at the split up point, there's some kind of diffraction cascade happening, resulting in the specific pattern split up. But it's all straight lines because it's not a wave.
Okay.
Am I getting to you? Am I getting through to you yet? No, you're an abject retard. You are a retard.
Arwin, let him fucking answer, for fuck's sake.
When you said diffraction, forget lights. When you say diffraction in like regular things, like other things, not including light, what do you mean by that?
The split off.
The split off? What does that mean?
There's a deviation because light, when moving past.
Stop saying light. I'm just saying when you said diffraction. When you said diffraction, what do you mean in other mediums, in other things? Not light. Don't say light. Anything else, like you said diffraction. Okay. What is diffraction?
Buckyballs, like anything. And a bullet will do it.
A bullet diffracts?
A bullet. Yeah, a bullet. Want me to explain it, or are you going to just talk?
Yeah, I want to hear this diffracting bullet. Tell me.
Yeah, let me explain that, right? It's a deviation. Yeah, right. You have a bullet. You shoot it through a gun. Guess where you're going to shoot it? You're going to shoot it exactly over, touching a table. Like the bullet's path gonna almost literally touch the table. You're gonna shoot straight past it. You know what's gonna happen? It's not gonna shoot perfectly straight from there on. I can pretty much guarantee you. No, it's actually gonna have a significant deviation downwards because the pressure is not equal on all its sides. The pressure below it is lower than the pressure above it because it can't build up pressure, because there's a table there that doesn't gather the pressure as gas does. So that pressure imbalance is going to cause it to deviate downwards. That's very much what the effect is like. And apparently it works with buckyballs, it works with light, it works with presumed electrons. I don't really care as to whether you believe the nature of it or not. It doesn't matter if it's matter or non-matter.
Wouldn't that be a Fermi consequence?
It seems to just do that.
Arwin, wouldn't that be affirming the consequent to assume that it works the same with light?
But it does. You have the diffraction pattern. You can see it. It deviates. It deviates just like when a bullet is fired over at close proximity over an object. It happens. It happens with light too. Light has a velocity. It has a speed. I don't know why it does that, but it happens every time. It deviates because it moves very close past it. I think that same effect is even the same effect that causes the apparent horizon to us, because it becomes the light has to move at such an angle that suddenly it becomes almost perfectly parallel to the surface, causing it to suddenly dip down. And that sudden dip down causes the horizon cutoff point and a reflection from there on. I think it's the same effect.
So how does this bullet that's falling? Yes, baby.
I explained it to you.
Hold on.
Because there's a disequilibrium in the pressure surrounding it because of its proximity as it moves over the object.
Look at that. Isn't she gorgeous?
Yeah.
All right, so how does this falling bullet creates a diffraction pattern? Let's see this.
It's a deviation. I'm giving you a specific example about a deviation effect, what it's like, and that it works for matter as well as for light. I don't know how the cascade happens, okay? I can't demonstrate that
It's a wave.
personally with bigger pieces of matter, but with buckyballs, apparently diffraction patterns have still emerged, have still come out of it. So it does happen with matter, and I don't know why the complex cascade happens the way it does.
Or to think that it does it with light.
What?
Is it not affirming the consequence to say that it because it happens with particles, therefore it probably happens with light?
But it's the same setup. The same setup has been tested. Double slit has been tested with matter and with light.
What's the answer to the question I asked? Is it affirming the consequence to say that it works with light?
No, because the effects are similar. Are not just similar, the pattern is identical. The pattern is identical. That's
Identical
not
to
affirming
what?
the
The
consequence.
buckyballs? Show me these buckyballs. I showed you
You
in
ask
my
John.
living room live.
John has
Show
the
me.
material for that.
Oh,
I asked him
John
as
has
well. I'm just taking his word for it, in this case. But
Perfect.
I believe it is
Beautifully
possible
said.
because there is deviation
Perfect.
when matter passes over a
I
flat
think you
surface.
summed up everything. I'm taking his word for it. Perfect. Love it.
No,
You just
no,
explained
don't
everything.
overgeneralize, you shithead.
I'll just take his word
Yeah,
for it.
you take
Got it.
whatever the fuck you
Got it.
want because you're a dishonest piece of shit and you don't listen to
dishonest
people's
piece of shit.
arguments because you're a religious zealot with your own freaking
I'm
personal
religious.
beliefs. Yeah, you are.
I'm
You are.
religious.
You're a
the one who's
wavy.
quoting a
You're
guy who
a,
talks
you're
about
a
alpha
light
and
waver.
omega.
You're an ether boy. You're a little bitch, and you can't listen to other people's argument because you're a little king and you can't let go. You can't
I'm a
let go
little
that you might be wrong at something. No, you have to ignore everybody. Be a bitch and then talk over everybody and not get the counter argument because
This
that's
is very
what
meta. It's very ironic when you say that.
it is.
It's actually funny.
Very ironic that you would say that.
I'm not the religious person. You're quoting. You're taking somebody's word
What's
for
my
it.
religion? What is my religion, Anon? What is my
Not
religion?
yours.
Do you know?
Not yours. You just called me a religious retard, and I'm
Yeah,
telling
you are. Your
I'm
personal
telling you,
religion,
you
your
just took the
personal
word.
little
You said I
dumb
took John's word for
lightweight
it.
belief.
He's the religious
That's
person,
your
not me.
religion.
Shit,
Ether
guys.
religion. It is your own
Shit.
personal scientism fringe religion that you retardedly pursue. And you don't listen to arguments that disprove it. You literally don't listen. You haven't listened in over a year. Because you are a religious zealot
Hold
with
on,
your
I'll be back.
concepts.
What about arguments that may prove it, rather than disprove it? Because it is a very subjective argument. Let's be honest.
Can I just point out as well that John's not actually answered the question, not because he's been funny, but because he's not been able to fucking speak.
I took over for a while.
John's not able to speak. I highly doubt that.
Well, he is able to speak. He does have lips. I meant that the other two people that are in the conversation were hogging the mic that much that I'm still not had an answer.
So what's your question to John?
Are you still there, John?
He's probably getting lunch.
Probably committed suicide listening to you two.
Sneaking around with his computer.
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah. So, John, just in case you've forgotten, it was that long ago when I asked my question. If water ripples because the medium exists and no water means no ripple, and if sound vibrates because you need the air for it to vibrate, no sound, no vibrations, then why is it not logical to think that light might need something to propagate through if sound and water are mediums for the other senses that we have?
So I thought I already answered this.
You
So
might have
let's-
done, you might have got rumpus to death.
So, is light the medium or the principle?
I don't know. Light would be. I don't. Is light the medium or the principle? Hang on, let me think.
Because you used water and you used air, which are mediums, right?
Yeah. It would have to be. Light would have to be the principle, wouldn't it?
Yes. I'm not getting your question.
I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to work out why it's not logical to think that it might need a medium to traverse through, because the other things need mediums for them to traverse through.
What other things?
I've just said water rippling and sound vibrating.
Yeah, but that water's the medium and the air is the medium. So light isn't a medium.
But if
Light is not.
So hang on.
Ether is the medium. Light is the
Shut up.
perturbation.
Shut up.
Light
Wait,
doesn't
not
need
you.
a medium.
Anon. No, please. I'm just asking John myself, not Anon, just John. If a rock is the principle and the sound of the voice is the principle, if light's the principle, if light is the principle, wouldn't that need a medium for it to propagate through?
Well, it propagates through air. Does light propagate through air?
It propagates through the vacuum when they make a vacuum.
What vacuum?
In a in any kind of vacuum chamber, the light will still get through because the explanation will be it's a massless particle, right?
No, let's not go to massless particle. Let's stick with your argument. What the?
Oh, that's
What the
fine. I'm
hell?
going with massless particle. That's all fine by me. Still doesn't make it a wave. Still doesn't make it in need of a medium other than air or
Well,
very thin air.
Mass. You got a problem in defining mass. I don't want to go down that trail. No. I'm trying to figure out what your question is. Does light travel through water?
Yes. No, I'm asking, does light... Why? My question is, why is it not logical to think that light needs a medium to traverse through when a rock needs water to create a ripple and a voice needs air to make a vibration?
I don't know what the question... Why is it not logical? So, do you have... Oh, God. We can't do this here, man. We can't. Let's do it in private.
Yeah, let's do it in private.
All right, I'll leave, John. No, it's tough with me there. I'm sorry. Sorry, John. Bye.
It's not your fault.
It's just
Anon was the one that was interrupting me.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, let's have a private session, bro.
Shut up.
Tell you about
You're
Jesus.
hard. How many times do I got to expose you?
Oh my God, you exposed me.
I'm talking to you. I'm not wasting my breath on you anymore.
Yeah, you can't clearly explain anything. You need a private session.
Go away
That's
to
pathetic.
that pastor.
Absolutely pathetic.
Hut. You're a friggin' priest, Ken Wheeler. Just go over to that crowd.
Pathetic you are. I can't do this here. Let's have it private. I'll just talk to you in private.
Yeah.
That's a toe tag. If I know a toe tag.
You're retard ass.
Fucking toe tag. Bag him up. Bag him up, Scotty.
Jabba the Hutt. Tattooed Ken Wheeler. Go over there. Bye.
Yeah, ether was invented by Ken Wheeler. You're right. Yeah, totally.
What's ether?
It was invented by Ken Wheeler. Utter moron.
What's ether?
Utter buffoon.
What is ether?
Is the medium.
Anon, can you answer that question?
Is the medium. Yeah, ether is the medium. Ether is
medium.
the medium
that says physicality. That means it has either
charge, magical particle, charge, and spin.
No, stop it. Stop it. No. So I heard his response, right? So if it has charge or momentum,
yeah, it does. Its property is allowing light to propagate through. That's a property. There it is.
That's air.
Propagation of light.
Air.
No, if you make a vacuum chamber and you stop, if you take a vacuum chamber and suck the water out, does it go dark? No, you can still see through it. Can you shine a laser through it? Yes, you can.
You're taking the medium away.
Yeah, you took the medium that you claim that it's air. Air, you can suck the air out, light still propagates through.
Okay, that's fine. You're a moron because you just said it was a medium, ether. But then you just made a vacuum that sucked everything out of it.
Not
So did
everything. Air. Not everything. Air. It sucked the air out.
Realize what a retard you are.
You suck the air out. Not
Yeah.
everything. The air. Clearly, there's something else
Get
left
out of your
because
ears to create a
you-
vacuum between your ears.
Yeah.
You don't even
See-
realize you just contradicted yourself. Do you?
I didn't contradict myself. I said you suck the air out from a
Oh,
vacuum
God.
chamber. You don't suck the ether out. Nobody claims that you're sucking ether out of a vacuum when you create a vacuum chamber here on this earth. Now, I'm not talking about vacuum of space. Just here, when you make a vacuum chamber, you don't suck the ether out. You just suck the air out. This is what you do. You just straw man. That's all you have. You have no answers.
How could
All you have
prove
is
that you
nothing.
was in there?
What?
How could you prove when you said when you make a vacuum you just suck the air out? Well, and you said you don't suck the ether out. Well, how would you know that the ether was in there?
Because light still traverses through it. You can keep a flashlight in there. Or if that was the case, if you sucked the ether out and light was actually ether perturbation, the little plastic chamber that you created, the see-through chamber, will go dark. But it doesn't, clearly. You just suck the air out. So something still's there because it's allowing the air, it's allowing the light to create the fringe interference pattern that only is caused by waves of interfering with each other.
There is another interpretation, though, isn't there?
What is? Go ahead, tell me.
Well, if you suck all the air out and you're left with a vacuum and you've sucked all the air out, either something's allowing the light to pass through or nothing's required for the light to pass through.
That was exactly my question to him before.
Okay,
when
so
was
it's
it
not-
proven that light needs a medium to propagate? How does removing the vacuum or removing the air from a vacuum chamber prove the existence of an ether?
Because you still have wave pattern interference on, you can get the fringe interference.
How does that-
And
how does that
only-
prove
and again,
ether?
light doesn't propagate through the ether. You're not listening. Light does not propagate through the ether. Light is
when was
ether
that proven?
perturbation. It's just the waving of the medium, the disturbance of the medium. Yeah, you can laugh at the Tesla quote because you're smarter than you think you're smarter than Tesla? Do you really think you're smarter than Tesla?
Yeah.
No, listen to me a sec.
You
Anon,
fucking
listen.
moron.
Anon, listen. You know, with the
What?
horizon behind the platforms video, they say it's all being bent up, right? And we say, well, there is another alternative explanation, and that there's no refraction at all, and we
Right.
see it because it's flat or concave or whatever, but definitely not a ball. So it's the same argument, just being applied in a different way. Can you see?
I
that?
disagree. No, I don't. I
So
totally disagree because the other one is you have to assume that the horizon is jumping over the horizon, and there's no. This is I'm not. We're not making any claims. I'm just.
That's a different point, though, because that is their argument. Whether it's doing it or not is a different point, but it is their argument, and we say, well, there is an equivalence. It might be that there is no refraction at all, and it appears to be flat.
Okay, sure, I agree with that. It's flat.
Right, but in this context, when you said if you suck all the air out the vacuum, then that indicates that either there is no medium required for light to pass through, or if there is an ether, then we haven't proved that there's an ether just because it's propagating through.
You're not listening. Light doesn't propagate through the ether. Light is ether perturbation. Light is just. See, this is when you know I'm hitting it on a spot. When he starts laughing like a fucking jackal,
What is
like a
ether?
clown.
You retard. What is ether?
Yeah,
ether is the medium that it's like a fish asking what's
Wait a
water.
second. If it's a well, we know what water is. It's H2O. We're asking
but
you.
you're not a fish. Your Jesus is a fish.
Is that what your question was? What's fish?
No, what I'm telling you is if you ask a fish what is water, they're gonna go, what the fuck is water? It's
Oh my
everywhere. That's where you are. You are in ether. It's
What is
everywhere.
ether?
It explained electromagnetism for
What
so
is
long.
ether?
The only time they had to get rid of it is when Michelson Morley came. Chocolate.
ether?
Did you watch that thing I sent you by Jeranism?
Ether.
Chocolate,
What is
did
it?
you watch that thing I sent you by Jeranism?
This clown.
Anon, what is ether?
Ether is the medium that basically EM, electromagnetic, either light, microwave, whatever. Those
No,
things are.
No. Photons are neither electric nor
There is
magnetic.
no photons. No such
Oh,
thing
there
as
is,
photons.
right? So you defeated the
No such
photoelectric
thing as
effect
photons.
of Compton scattering, right?
You don't need to do any of that.
You do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you
No,
do.
you don't. There's a threshold where the light, where the
Threshold of ignorance from you that we've reached many years ago.
sure. Says the
Yes.
guy who believes in a magic guy from 2,000 years ago.
Ether, that's all we want to know.
Uh-huh.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's a medium, you said. Okay, that medium denotes physicality. So it has to have chemical formula or structure, charge, mass, momentum, or spin, or millielectron volts, kcals, or kilojoules. Give it.
It allows light to propagate through.
How with the ether? What is it?
It's a light. It basically that's what light is. It's the perturbation. So if there was no ether, you wouldn't see the light.
I asked
If
you
there was
what
no ether, you wouldn't be able to use radio waves or radios.
What is ether?
You're not listening. It's the medium.
I heard you. You didn't give me an answer.
Yeah,
You
but
talked.
What is a photon?
I'm not talking about light. I'm talking about ether. What is it?
What? I'm not talking about light. I'm talking about ether. That's the stupidest statement I ever heard.
Oh my God, this fucking clown.
Explain to me the fringe interference pattern on my wall that I create by coherent light, laser. How does that happen with the photon? How do I have all these diffraction patterns on my wall that can only be caused by waves interfering with each other? That's the pattern I see on my wall. It's very simple. I see it. It's right there. The only way you would ignore it is because you're a fundamentalist zealot. And you have to find another way to make it a photon so you can have a double slit, so you can have a knower, so you can have your Jesus. That's it. You're fundy zealot.
Why does Jesus have anything to do with it?
Because he needs the knower. He needs the whole sister particle. Oh, there's the knowledge that proves God. I saw a dumbass video.
Yeah, but that means you've got to then debunk the double slit experiment, right? Because that was the independent variable.
I don't shoot photons through a double slit. I'm just shining single light. There is no such thing as photons.
What do you shoot?
That's Linkfant. The packet of light created by... Who created photon, by the way? Who invented it?
What gets shot out the thing that gets registered?
Fuck, I know. It's just things of little packets of energy. That little tiny... it depends on how they do it. I don't fucking know. But the point is, you don't need to shoot...
Is it physicality or is it something else?
Is it physical? Well, the one that he showed me, the photons that he showed me in his video, was basically the guy points at, while Morgan Freeman is narrating, he points at a CRT TV screen, points at a little light, and says, "That's the photon." Like that's the stupidest thing I ever seen.
Right, answer the question. I've not had an answer. Is the photon, is the thing that's fired a thing or a non-thing?
Well, I mean, it is a thing. They shoot little packets of energy, little packets of light.
Thing, then it must have
not packets of light,
right?
but basically bursts of light. That's all they're doing. And then depending on what threshold it reaches, it registers somewhere, either on some plate or somewhere where it registers.
It's a physicality, right? It's not a metaphysicality.
No, it's not metaphysics. It's just
light must be a particle of some kind, then, right?
No, it's a way. No, light is not a particle. That's the whole cult of bumping particles. You have to make in order. These are fields. I mean, I don't want to quote fucking Wheeler because he has an avid reaction to it, but he's right. I mean, these are all fields, electromagnetic. These are all fields, and you can't quantify it. What you have to do is, these are bean counters. These are math magicians. So they need to create these little beans so they can, square root them and add them and subtract them and create these crazy ass nonsensical theories and make everything particles, gravitons. You want to go find your graviton? The same people that are bumping, shooting photons through their double slits are the same people that are looking for graviton in CERN. I mean, this is all nonsense. It's all bullshit. You can't. They want to particleize everything so they can do their magic. Today's scientists have substituted experiments for mathematics, and they wander through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relations to reality. That's Tesla. The whole quantum shit started after relativity came out. The whole Das Linkfant is a photon created by who? Einstein. It's all this, it's this other side of the same coin. I mean, if you want to believe in quantum bullshit, you might as well believe in relativity. And you have to. It's all the same. It's all comes from the same group of people. All after the Michelson-Morley. Chocolate, please tell me you watched the Jeranism. This is not my video. You're a flat earther. You should love Jeranism. If you haven't watched it, that means that you don't want to watch it. And that's fine. Because you don't want to change your mind. Did you watch it? Yes or no?
Actually, when I checked it the other day, I realized I have watched it a while ago.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
A while ago,
So,
yeah. I didn't
did you
rewatch
understand
it.
what it said? Do you agree with it or you disagree with it?
Nah, I would have to rewatch it. I didn't rewatch it, to be honest with you.
Ranty and Riley, have you guys seen this? You guys, I mean, I don't know if you probably have reservations for Jaren because of Bob. But
Let's clear that up. I have no problems with Jaren or his
no, I'm
work.
talking about Riley.
Okay.
Anybody still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm here, just working.
What happened on Nathan's today? Did I miss anything?
Not really. Basically, an ether conversation for about an hour. And Unorthodox came in and tried to tell Nathan that he misuses fallacies, and there's plenty of examples. And Nathan told him to name one, and he couldn't. just
shit.
Dumb shit.
No tell me that Unorthodox made an unsubstantiated claim again, are you? Jesus.
Yeah, man. He even knew the example for the fallacy, but couldn't even name it. Fucking great. These guys are out of their minds.
He's got a degree in physics, though, right?
He says he's an engineer.
Yeah, I think normally you need a degree in physics for that. I'm sure I've heard him say in the past that he's got a degree in physics. And if that is true, how the fuck can you be a ball earther if you look at this honestly?
Well, that's it right there, right? They don't want it. They don't want to be honest about this shit. They just want to keep believing what they're believing. So, what can you do?
Yeah, that's it, man.
I mean, he still thinks that some time ago he came on here and proved gravity.
Oh, really?
He tells people that shit.
Did he manipulate a little bit of space time?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. No, I don't even think it was space time because he always argues for a force.
That's
So
what I
who
mean.
knows what?
How would he have proven gravity unless he manipulated space time?
Because he's a lying piece of shit.
He is I actually think he's delusional. I think
a lot of them are. I think most of them are. To be honest.
Hello, anyone out there?
Yeah, man.
Hey, what's up?
How's the pop? I see Arwen's dropped.
How's the pup?
Oh, he's to be honest, the last 2 days he's been coughing his fucking bollocks up. Cough, 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 cough. To the point where I thought he was giving up on me. It was that bad. He was hacking and just making loads of noise, and it's like this isn't noise that he's making because he's feeling better. This is noise he's making. He's straining, and he's actually started to squeak. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this dog? So I'm not sure what's going on with him totally at the minute, but he's calm enough now. He's not been hacking all day, but he's just weird, man. It's difficult to know whether he's getting better because some days he has good days and other days he has really bad days. And the last couple of days, these have not been good days.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, he's been good today, but last night he was up all night, cough, 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 cough. It's like, fucking hell. But I'm sure he'll get. I do think he's getting better. It's just that some days he has bad days, and we just got to accept that there are bad days.
Yeah, I don't do well with those situations.
No.
Hey, Anthony, did you see that debate with Team Septic and Nathan Thompson?
Yeah, Team Skeptic was fucking shite, wasn't he? I thought he was going to start throwing punches at one point when he was getting out of his chair and pointing at him. I was like, fucking hell, if he'd have been doing that to me live in front of people, I'd have been like, you better sit the fuck down, dickhead, otherwise you're going down.
What a dumbass he was. I love how people just voluntarily come out and show what true dumbasses they are, and he did it. I loved it.
Massive penis, isn't he?
He wasn't even coherent.
What was all that shit he was arguing about with the parabola? He was saying, like, what shape's that? And he's like, a parabola. Well, why are you even doing it? It's not fucking relevant to the shape of the Earth. And I'm like, yeah, it fucking is. What the fuck are you talking about? That's the fucking shape we're supposed to live on.
Yeah. I don't know. It was really disjointed and incoherent. And the moderator, I called him an absentee landlord, right? He's just sitting there. And at one point, I think it was late, that Team Septic called Nathan Thompson. He says, "You're just a piece of human trash," right? Moderator's there. Well, thank you. What's that super chat from? I'm sitting there. What the hell?
Team Skeptic. He's just
That's funny. I call him Septic also.
Yeah, that's named him Team Septic a long time ago.
There's just no need for that level of negative. Like, he's just like he wants to be like Fight the Flat Earth or Red's Rhetoric, that kind of mentality where he thinks it's okay just to be a dick.
He didn't have any arguments. None. He didn't even know his own friggin' model or reification fallacy. He didn't know any of it. And then he asked Nathan Thompson to disprove all his arguments from ignorance fallacies. I was losing it, man. It was so funny.
I was listening to the copy on somebody's debate channel. I saw the first copy that came out on someone's mobile, and the sound was terrible, and I just couldn't put up with that. I wanted decent quality sound. I thought I'll wait until the proper version comes out, and then I saw is it on the Modern Great Debate channel? I saw it on there, much better sound, and I was like, oh, this is enjoyable. I can listen to this.
I think they had a lot of internet problems.
Yeah.
It was terrible. What they should develop the mantra that, it's often better to keep your mouth shut and be thought of a fool than open it up and remove all doubt, because that's what he did. He removed all doubt. Loved every second of it.
I was shocked when I saw how bad he was. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Nathan's actually been coming into 24/7. So I told him, I was like, bro, what the hell did you do to this guy to make him flip out? Look like he started tweaking out. Like, what the hell? He was like, I don't know. I just thought that the guy just lost his shit.
He lost it too, man. Right away, right from the beginning, right with his idiot bell.
Oh, that was the best. He brought the bell out, and he was just like, oh, and at some point he dropped the bell and said, fuck this bell. I don't need it. And I'm looking at it like, dude, nobody told you to bring this stupid bell. It's your bell. This guy's an idiot.
You know what the bell's for, though, right? It's conditioning, isn't it? Every time he presses the bell, it associates with a victory. So the more he presses it, the more victorious he's perceived. That's Skinner's conditioning, isn't it? Skinner's operant conditioning.
Oh, so it makes sense that he broke it in the middle of the debate.
Yeah, heavy-handed motherfucker.
Perceived by who? Everyone that can flog a mirror could see what a total. I don't even know if you can call him a numpty. Numpty is a compliment to him. He's so beyond numpty. I don't know. What motivates people to show themselves as a horse's ass? I have no idea. I don't get it.
Fight the
fight. It was funny. Thanks.
The Flat Earth does the same thing though, and he thinks he looks great, and I'm like, have you fucking heard yourself though? There's no conversation with him. It's just, mind you, I haven't seen anything of his for such a long time. I just see how he is in chat and generally like being a penis, but there's no conversation with most of these ballers, and it's like we need to have the conversation. I mean, at the end of the day, there is no conversation, but they just won't admit that they're dying and being stamped on like cockroaches. They just won't admit it. They just keep getting up. Fucking seeing it at Terminator.
Just put the black swan in front of him, Anthony, and put your feet up and start laughing.
Did you see the mankini that fucking Team Septic was wearing?
No.
When they took a picture? Oh my god, you guys gotta see this shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
Why would he do that?
Because he's an idiot.
But what kind of message is he thinking he's telling people? I mean, I look at that and think, what the fuck are you doing? If you were wearing one of them, you would certainly not make it public, would you? I'm sure Team Skeptic's a smackhead. He does look like a smackhead. Gaunt as fuck. Too skinny. Nathan was fantastic, I thought. I tell you, he didn't do particularly good, though. Brian on Ranties last night. He let far too much go.
It was hard. I tuned in late for it, but it was hard to understand because everyone was over talking to each other. I couldn't hear anything.
I know, but I mean, Brian let him get away with far too much basic stuff like gravity being a force. He didn't pull him up on it. I'm like, fuck me, anyone says the word gravity, and I'm like, what's that?
Riley, watch your Skype. I'm about to send it right now.
Okay.
What are you sending, Chocolate?
Don't worry, I'll send it to you too.
It's a picture of
Teen
Skeptic in a mankini or something.
What in a man? I just ate.
I think that'll be getting reversed. In about 10 seconds.
Hold up.
I hope he's not got his pubes hanging out the side as well. Fucking hell.
Now that is the definition of cool.
What?
No, them tattoos put him into a lot of perspective, doesn't it? He wants to be Tupac Shakur. That's what he wants with the tattoos he's got.
Don't ever send me anything like that again, Chocolate. Do you understand me?
Hey man, I'm just sharing the love. Enjoy.
He wants to be gangster. That's what it is.
Not where I'm from. That ain't gangster.
I think that's what he wants to be, though. I mean, look at him. I mean, who wears a cap at like 39 years old or however old he is? Not many people can pull that off at this age.
I still wear a cap.
I'm trying to find the delete button. They need to add a delete button to Skype because it's not here.
Not many people can pull that off, though, Chocolate.
Well, that's not my fault. That's his.
Yeah.
He's the one who wanted to go out in public dressed like that. So I don't know what to tell you. That's the ballers for you. You know, Riley, apparently that physicist that we had that debate with, so-called physicist, he's quite upset.
Nick with Noel.
Yeah. Well, that's not I don't think that's the same Nick, but yeah, that guy.
Why is he quite upset? Because he got dick.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Apparently. He got beat by some flat earthers. Particularly me. He doesn't like me. They think I overtalked and did all this bullshit.
I don't think you overtalked. I just think he doesn't.
When the fuck do I overtalk? I just had to jump in and tell him about his experiment that he said he was a expert in. He said it was my specialty when we got into light. And then couldn't even describe what the fuck the wave function was. Remember? He was like, oh, I'm drunk. I can't remember. Yeah, all right, Dick. This is your fucking specialty, right?
Do you know what? When he said double slit, right? I said to him twice, I said, what did you say? Say that again. And I swear to God, I heard him say double split. Twice. And he didn't.
Nah, he said double slit.
I know. But like honestly, I heard him say it twice, and I thought I heard him say it twice wrong, and I was like, "You got that wrong, you motherfucker," and he didn't.
Yeah, you actually got that wrong. You said
No,
double
I
split,
thought
motherfucker.
I thought that's what he was saying. That's what I was listening for. Did he get it right? And I was adamant he got it wrong, but no, he didn't. He got it fucking right, didn't he?
Yeah. But that's nice. You knew the name of the experiment. Couldn't describe the dependent variable of that experiment. So
Yeah, he didn't know the dependent variable. He didn't even know the
which
terminology.
is just a wave function. But you just said that it's your specialty. So how do you not know about this?
And that's why I asked him what kind of physicist was he? Was he a theoretical physicist? He says no.
He said optical.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Scientific method. He says, of course. Like, right. So what's the dependent variable? The what? The dependent variable? It's like, that's a word. I don't even know what it is.
Yep. These guys are fucking. And the best part was when he was trying to argue. Remember, he was like, "Oh, why are you guys arguing general relativity?" We're like, "Dickhead, that's your argument. You're the one who invoked gravity." But he thinks we're talking about special relativity.
I was
like, bro, do you know where you are?
Yeah. I was trying to work out what was his angle on that because I was thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? I mean, this is their argument.
You didn't hear me in the back? I was telling him, dude, your argument is general relativity. Yeah. And he kept saying, oh, why you keep talking about that? You're supposed to be talking about special. I'm like, no, that's not it.
Yeah, and he was also pompous enough to like never ever consider that he might be wrong on anything. So it was like it ends up just being speaking over each other, and I try not to do that, but sometimes it's really hard.
Yeah, so now he's challenging that dude Bev, and he's like, "Oh, are you not man enough to have a one-on-one?" Because apparently, I don't know, they thought it was supposed to be some just one-on-one with him and Bev, and maybe Emma was going to be there or something. So they didn't expect you and me to be in there. That's what happened.
That really shouldn't make any difference though, because
it shouldn't. But obviously, you know, they don't want to talk to us because I think he knew who we were. Even though they claimed they didn't know who I was, but they knew who you were. And I'm sure if they knew who you were, they probably heard of me. But you know, you're a lot more infamous than I am with the trolls. So yeah. I don't know. Either way, he played himself.
I just found it very interesting that some of the ways he argued some of his points, I just thought was bad.
Well, because guys like that, they don't debate out loud. They debate in Twitter. I think one of his friends even said, like, that's why a text debate is more civil, because then you don't have people talking over you and shit like that. Because Bev's been sending me pictures of him and his people talking about this shit.
And they're all butter, are they?
Oh yeah. They're telling Bev he's scared to have a one-on-one because we showed up, and it's just nonsense, man. It's fucking retarded. They're like, who's this chocolate guy?
But like it even matters though. Surely it's just about the arguments. It's not anything to do with the personality in it, right?
It shouldn't.
Unless the personality's being an arsehole, and I don't think you were being an arsehole. I think I was being more of an arsehole because I was laughing at him about gravity arguments.
Look, we're assholes. Just because at one point he said, "This is my specialty," and could not describe what his specialty was, that just makes somebody look stupid and feel stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Because I even told him, "This is not my specialty. This is yours. You just said it. So why you can't describe the wave function of this fucking experiment that you're talking about, that you just said is your specialty?" And then we had to end it because we could have even progressed to the quantum eraser experiment because he's never even heard of it. Now, how are you a specialist in double slit, but you've never heard of a quantum eraser? That's just weird. So, I don't know.
I sometimes I ask myself how these people even exist. I mean, when you're pompous enough to say, yes, this is, I mean, I'm happy to say that gravity is my specialty in the sense that it's the easiest one to win. What is gravity a force? The minute you say that, they've got to say, well, it's an effect or it's something else, because they can't say, because you just pull Einstein out of the hat and say, oh right, so you can debunk Einstein, can you? It goes nowhere after that. It stops. But these fuckers, like, to come on like the way he did and like proclaim the way he was, like, oh, this is my specialty, and I was like, oh, great, this is going to be a good conversation, and then nothing happened, and I was like, right, so it's not that good then.
Exactly. Exactly the point. Look, if I claim I'm a physicist, there's no way I should be destroyed by a flat earther named Chocolate Saint. That's just silly, right? But
And
yet
don't fuck the ear as well. Don't forget, don't fuck the ear.
Oh yeah, and the dumb fucking ear.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's the beauty of the accolade. I mean, I know Jaron got it, and he kind of got not upset, but he was a bit fuck it. But my view on it is, yeah, if you're gonna get beaten by the dumb fuck of the year guys, what does that say about you?
exactly.
Somebody's asked me why won't a debate fight the flat Earth, and my answer was simple: I can't encourage his demeanor. His behavior, the way he behaves, is just not acceptable. I don't like the way he behaves, and I'm not going to encourage it for that reason. And that doesn't mean anything about with regards to being scared of him at all. It's just I can't encourage that level of like naughtiness. I mean, there's limits to being a dick, and he goes way beyond it. So for me, it's just a case of I don't want to get involved with him. I just don't like him.
Yeah, I won't ever debate him. I have no respect for him at all. I'd rather spit in his face. So, and that's not the same with a lot of boys. You know, I don't. There are a lot of boys I don't mind, but him, as a human, fuck a baller. As a human, I have no respect for him. So he can go fuck himself. I will never have a civil conversation with that asshole.
Yeah, there's no need for him. He's too curt and too rude. Unnecessary, mate. Unnecessary. And he thinks it's justified as well. I heard him tell somebody that he models himself on Red's rhetoric, and I was like, of all the people to model himself on, he's like the worst person to do that.
What have I missed, boys?
Just bitching about the guy that me and Chocolate had to do with the other night. It was really good, actually. He claims it was Nick. I'm sure it was Nick with Noel. Chocolate says it's not, but he sounded like he had that Stafford, Wolverhampton, West Black Country accent, and I'm sure it was Nick with Noel. But I don't know whether it was or not. Did fucking sound like him.
So what was the conclusion with that? I mean, did you break him down?
He just we brought up how did we get onto light? I can't remember how we got onto light, but we brought up light, and he said, "Oh, great, that's my favorite. That's my specialty in his field as being a physicist, an optical physicist." So he starts talking about the double slit experiment, and he didn't even know what the dependent variable was. And I'm like, "What the fuck are we talking about here, dude? Come on, you must know this shit." I asked him, was he a proper physicist or was he a theoretical physicist? And he said, I'm an optical physicist. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I've never even heard of that.
Physicist? I've never heard of that.
No.
I could say I'm an optical physicist then.
Well, yeah, you could.
You are. All you gotta do is open up your eyes.
Well, yeah.
I've got two
I
of
asked
them.
him, does it comply with scientific method?
Does it mean I've got a double degree because I've got two eyes?
Yes.
I asked him, does he comply with scientific method? And he said yes, but then didn't know what the independent variable was. The dependent variable was in the double slit. And he also described it as the... I said, what did it prove? What did the double slit experiment prove? And he said that dual...
Wave particle duality.
Yeah.
He was arguing that light is a wave and a particle.
I said, oh, right. I said, so what was the independent variable? And he's like, what? What was the dependent variable? I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Ranty, if you wear glasses, you're a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not that high up. I don't wear glasses yet. Give me 5 years.
He did really bad though, Ranty. For a guy that claiming to be a physicist, he did really bad.
Speaking of people doing bad, what did you think of that performance from last night?
I thought, to be honest, I thought Thingy wasn't very good. What's his name? Our guy, Brian. He let far too many things go unchallenged. He didn't challenge him on gravity when he should have done. He didn't challenge him on a few things, and I was like, "Come on, Brian, why would you let all that go?" Maybe he was just being tactical, but I thought Brian.
Who did he debate?
He
Some
debated a guy called Don, who his channel has almost 10,000 subscribers. So, as I say, I mean, the guy came in and he was talking about moon landings and satellites and all this kind of stuff. Like,
moon landings?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, and I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it in a minute. Brian's going to jump down his neck any minute now. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. And he did. And I'm like, oh no. And then he went into gravity, and he's like, I'm like, come on, he's going to pull him here. No, he didn't. It was, but I think he still won the debate. But it was such a, I don't know. It could have been so much clear cut.
It was hard to hear because that other guy was talking in the background all the time, and Brian's mic was too overpowering. It was really hard to hear. I just listened to the end of it. I didn't listen to the beginning.
Yeah, it was. I sort of surmised it up at the end and said, look, both of you could have done better. Essentially, there were times that he could have brought proofs that I thought he might have brought. He had nothing, no proofs, no papers, nothing. And with Brian, I mean, like Sleeping Warriors just said, he let too many things go.
I was gobsmacked when he started talking about gravity as a force. I mean, that is like the biggest trigger word that we can kill any argument with really quickly, and he just let it go. And I'm like, Brian, what are you doing? Kill this guy. You can't let him get away with gravity being a force.
I did try to hint to him. I did pull him up and say, you do realise that it's pretty much known now that gravity is not recognised as a force.
Yeah,
so I only jumped in about 4 or 5 times just to try and clarify a few things, and I thought that might have given Brian the hint. Hello,
No, it didn't give him the hint at all. No. I was surprised actually. Brian's quite a knowledgeable guy. He talks the talk, but he wasn't particularly good last night.
Well, we had a debrief afterwards, and I basically just said to him, look, it all started at the very beginning when I said to you, right, you guys start. He immediately made the first comment to you about the sun, and because that's your baby, you and the sun, this light in the sky, you have an affinity with it or whatever. He was quite happy to just keep on talking about the sun, and as soon as he's done that, he's he's engaged you in your favorite topic. So the arguments when I was trying to progress things always seems to end up circling back to the sun because Brian wanted conclusion on that point. So it seemed like he was quite happy to just dismiss any argument up until that point to get back to talking about the sun because that's his main thing. And I did say that. I said, that's what happened. You let so much go in order to try and get back to the sun argument when what you should have done was, destroy him there and then because you had every opportunity.
Yeah, I was shocked by how not poor, but how below par it was, given that he knows all these arguments, and it's like you say, he must have just gone in there with the bias of wanting to talk about that topic and only that topic.
But it was who was I was speaking to? It was you, wasn't it, in the day before? And you said this will be a good test of Brian. This will be a good test to see where he's at in his journey. If he's actually debating somebody other than talking about the sun, because the only time he's ever debated anybody else has been with that Crow XE on the sun. But besides that, there's a wide range of topics, and like you say, you'd have thought he'd have sharpened his tools a little bit on them. We'll get him round there. We'll get him into this. 8 inches per mile squared. The guy didn't even know that. Was denying.
He was arguing over that as well. I was like, I'd have been all over that. 8 inches per mile is their model. Who cares whether it's right or not? It's their model. We can spit that out all day, every day. It's like, come on, Brian, jump all over it.
I was just like, What do you mean? It's your model, you know, Mick West, Walter Bislin. You know, you guys use these calculators. You can, yeah, but that's just from your feet. You can't work it out from an observer height. And I'm like, yeah, you can. You just put those details into the calculator that will tell you. No. Well, that calculation's wrong. Well, what's the right calculation? I think he said it was something like 78.78 millimeter.
Yeah.
0.78 millimeter per meter. And I'm like,
all right, so it's a slope.
So it's a slope then. Not squared. So it's a slope. Oh man, this guy's coming in to argue and doesn't even know his own model on that particular part. So, yeah, just.
I actually felt like asking for a link and joining last night when I was listening to it. I was like, fucking hell. By the way, Ranty, for some reason, when I'm listening to your Hangouts live, the sound always cuts off on my mobile for some reason. It's only on you.
Right. So you mean you have to keep refreshing it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So lots of people have said this. Lots and lots of people have, and it seems to be an Android problem. So you need to uninstall YouTube, reinstall it, and it works perfect. Now, people were doing it last night on the channel, you know, because, you know, quite a lot of people had the same issue. So I told them to do that. They did it. They came back. Yeah, it's working fine.
Right.
So it's definitely some kind of update on the Android phones. Apparently on iPhones it works fine, but if you've got some kind of Android, it just doesn't. And it is only on my stream as well, so I don't know.
It's really weird that it's only on yours.
Because I'm such a good show. Oh, by the way, Mindwarp said he's done your introduction or something. I've not seen that. Have you got it to hand to show us?
No, I'm playing a game at the minute.
Oh, great.
He has done it, but I haven't been live to be able to play it. I feel a bit bad actually because he's obviously put time into it, and I haven't got around to doing it yet.
Well, can't you just take time out of your game just to show us?
No.
Oh, come on.
Dude, it's just the same as anybody else's.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, so John's is the same as mine? I mean, mine's better than John's, obviously, but... You know.
Well, you can see it's just done by the same guy, so it's, you know, it's like... It's no different to anybody else's, to be honest, Ranty.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the machines.
It is the machines.
So are you going to uninstall YouTube and reinstall it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need to do, and it just works fine, so... Happy days.
Did you hear her before he crushed the globe? It says, it's the machines.
I did hear that.
Check it out next time that intro comes on, man. It's right before he crushes. It's the machine.
Do you say that?
No, that's Sarah Connor.
Oh, is it? Right, so you've swapped it out. Right, okay.
Yeah. If you don't catch the beginning of it, right at the beginning, you'll miss it. But you can hear it. It's the machine.
You should have that throughout every now and then, you know. Just throughout, permeated throughout it, perhaps half a dozen times. Just in the background. You know, like a subtle, it's the machine. You know?
Too funny, man. Yeah. I caught it right away when he first sent it. I said, that is badass. I didn't think anyone would catch it. That's why I said something.
Now everybody's going to be listening to it now.
Yep. It's machines.
Yeah, but having it permeated throughout it would be just as good as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'll have to get with Adam on that. That might. I don't know if you'll hear it because he has some pretty loud music there, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, just in the silent bits, you know, where it lulls off for a moment. It only takes a second to say it.
It's the machine.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, very good. Did you get the standing on the globe as well?
Say again?
Have you got the standing on the globe in?
Yeah, I got him crushing the globe. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Check it out right at the beginning. I just released it with the Black Swan. It was the new intro and outro.
Oh, right, that's it. Right, okay. Yeah, I will. I'll have a look. Nathan's complaining, saying it's too long. I don't think it is at all. I think it's.
I don't think it's long either.
explains that. Yeah, right.
That's just Nathan trying to wave his dick around the air.
Yeah.
Bob, that's doing the Bob Nodell thing.
Well, Bob has a very long introduction. So does Jeren. Mine's pretty long too. So I think what it does is it just, when people get notifications that you're live, it gives them 2 or 3 minutes to come in, because if you start your show immediately, you know, they've missed the first introduction. You know, you do a nice big intro, you make a nice big intro, and it gives people time to fill in.
Yeah, but he's
What? John, you cut off. You're on mute, John.
been having mic problems for some reason, man. I don't know why. You got me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you're a bit low.
Yeah, keep on having to restart the engine.
Yeah, I have to keep doing that on. Is it on Voice Meter?
Yes.
I keep having the same kind of problems. I think it's something to do with Windows and a recent update.
Check for your updates on it. You know, there might be an update that you can put into it.
An update from where?
From Windows.
Well, no, from Voice Meter. You might have
Voice.
an update.
I never get any updates from Voice Meter.
Have you done a manual search?
No, it doesn't update.
Oh, does it not? Right, okay. See, I don't use that. I mean, why do you use that? Is it to just individually, you know, control each individual person's volume?
Yes. No, well, the group, if there's like, if I have Discord and Skype or somebody else, I can control the volume and muting.
Okay. I want to know how you get these hangouts up. Go on.
You can pass your system sounds through on from Skype as well as browsers as well, so that it goes out to the broadcast.
Yeah. There's something up between the because I just updated Windows just the other day, and now I'm getting all kind of mic problems.
Yeah, I've got the same issue. I thought it was me, but obviously it's not.
Nope.
How do we get Google Hangouts up? Because you can't do it through YouTube, through the, you know, Stream Now thing. Because we're in a Google Hangouts now, but how do we get that?
What do you mean? How do you get that?
Well, whenever I've streamed on Google Hangouts before, I've used it through YouTube and just gone to events, schedule new event, you know, Stream Now sort of thing, and it's brought up Google Hangouts.
Yeah, right. You can't do that anymore. So
how do you do it?
How do you go into Google Hangouts and create a Hangout? That's it, and then stream it over OBS.
I see. Right, okay. So you just don't go through the YouTube part. You just use Hangouts, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't even use Hangouts. I just use Discord and Skype.
I keep looking at that Discord layout, and it just does my head in just looking at it.
Yeah, it's a bit fuddly to look at, but it's confusing as well, because you'll have no end of problems switching between stuff. You're like, where's my sound going? You check it and it's right in that software, but it's wrong on your system, and then you got to change it on your system, and then it resets itself, and it's fiddly as fuck, man. It does work though.
Hey Tony, that's your mission. You need to find out what the problem is between Voice Meter and the recent Windows update.
But normally they just fix themselves. It's not something that you normally have to worry about.
Have you got a new show prepared for Saturday, John?
For Ballbusters, I told you for the foreseeable future, it's going to be the Black Swan. So it'll be the Black Swan, and I'm thinking Flight will be the two subjects that we talk about.
Okay.
Why would I go away from the Black Swan? Listen, Flat Earthers, just end it quickly. I put this, I handed it to you on a silver platter. I've given you the ringer, right? Just use it and be done with it. You don't have to sit there and argue for 2 hours. Just put it up, and ask them why the horizon is behind the second platform. It's over.
Yeah. They just say refraction.
They can't because the horizon doesn't refract. There is no refraction of the horizon.
Yeah, but they do say it does refract, and I'm like, yeah, it's only a mile away, dickhead. It can only refract if it's behind the horizon.
No. Okay, what are the 5 effects of refraction?
Oh yeah, so Fata Morgana, Fata Bramosa,
Nope.
Fata Morgana.
Nope.
Towering, stooping, sinking, miraging, and
Looming.
Somebody's talking to me. Hold on.
So the 5 effects of refraction, right? They are mirages, looming, sinking, towering, stooping. Right?
Yeah.
Which one of those are happening in the photo?
None.
None.
Yep. Exactly. So they have to come up with something else. Simple as that. They can't do it. It's over right there. Then you can go on to other subjects like what do you use to clean the bathroom and stuff like that. Important stuff.
Basically.
Because it's a wrap.
Sure is. It's a wrap for that ball. Spinning magical water ball in a vacuum. It's done.
Yep. That's spinning water ball. It's tortuous agony forever and ever. And I played taps. It's over.
Who remembers this image? Test at the track. Do you remember?
That's a while ago.
Yeah.
I remember this. The happy egg.
Conspiracy Cats on the right and Simon Dan on the left. But here's the thing, yeah, I didn't realise. Well, I did at the time. It was mentioned. We noticed this deformity of the egg, and we also noticed this extended pull down of the, of the ring. For instance, look at the ring. Look at the difference in it, and also, Simon Dan over here. But isn't this upward refraction? Perfect example.
Looks like stretching.
Yeah, perfect. Well, it's perfect example, I think, of upward refraction, which is we're losing the data down to the data not getting to the camera, and it's stretching it down. It's starting to already start to be stretched.
Yep, exactly, stretching.
And I got Stingray to model what would happen if we had upward refraction on a plane. Don't need anything else, no curve, just model it on a plane with upward refraction, what would happen. And you know what happened? It disappeared from the bottom up. Just with upward refraction.
You can still see the horizon.
Yeah, you'd still see a horizon.
What's Dean's explanation for the black swan?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, we see in the distance, occasionally, we will see objects like wind turbines that look obscured. What's the reason for that? Well, if the light's never reaching the camera because of this effect, this upward refraction, then we would only see the top part of it, as was modelled by Stingray. Just using their own optical effects of light against them. That light.
Oh, so his reification fallacy. So he was using his reification fallacy to try to describe this.
Well, they all do. They all say that light bends. They all say that it happens. Right, okay, so if we apply that, as it's going through the density gradients, and it's changing direction, let's give them that. Well, how does it work on a flat plane then? Let's just apply that logic on a flat plane. What would happen? And funnily enough, when you apply that logic on a flat plane, things disappear from the bottom up. You don't need a horizon. Things just disappear from the bottom up.
Well, they use terrestrial refraction when they describe refraction. So when you say refraction on a flat plane, you're talking 2 different things, right?
Well, yes, but more to do with their calculation. It's more to do with their mathematics. We don't need to put an R value. We don't need to attach it with R.
That's what it starts with, though.
Yeah, but what they're saying is that light will then will just deviate through the gradients. It will just deviate to a different. It'll go from one gradient to another, and we've shown that it can go both up and down. Soundly's proved that as well, that the light can bend both up and down. So, in that case, what would happen if you applied that light bending down, which is upward refraction or whatever, on a plane, and it just disappears from the bottom up? End of story.
His reification fallacy.
Whose reification fallacy?
On Dean's model, that's a reification fallacy.
No, I'm applying their downward movement of light on a flat plane.
I thought Dean modeled it.
Dean did model it, but I asked him to model it to say what would happen, to show what would happen if you're looking through a camera at a distant object and you just apply upward refraction to that object. With you don't need a horizon, you don't need a curve, just apply upward refraction. What happens? And it disappeared from the bottom up. Very interesting.
Yeah, but when you say refraction, well, I'd like to see his calculations. I'd like to see the refraction calculation.
It's just the same as the Walter Bisling's one. The slider. You just change the slider from left to right. You just more refraction, less refraction.
I don't entertain that calculation. Sorry.
Wait for moving.
So it needs more work. It's in its infancy. This is just a theory. So it's something I'm looking into. It might pan out and it might not. But if we don't ask these questions and do the research on it, we never know. Might end up in a cul-de-sac and everyone saying, but yeah, that's what happened when they were talking about the inferior mirage at one point.
Oh,
so,
you mean after the Black Swan? You talk about this?
Yes, after Black Swan.
That's fine. Yeah,
after
I like that.
The Black Swan. Yeah.
After the Black Swan. Yeah, it's not mine. It's everyone's. Go ahead and use it. That's why I put it out there, for crying out loud.
But yeah, I got a bit of stick about this test at the track because they were saying, well, it's not disappearing from the bottom up, is it? Well, it certainly doesn't look like the original image at the bottom up close. When you go 100 meters away, it looks pretty distorted, you've got to say. So, win-win.
Don't say win-win again. You'll conjure up the wizard. He'll appear.
Widgeon. Right, I'm gonna round up and go and finish tea. I've been periodically running around trying to keep on top of the washing up. Every pot, every pan, every knife and fork has been used, every cup, everything. And we ain't got a boiler because we're still waiting on a new boiler because we got no heating, no hot water, and I'm trying to do the washing up. I'm boiling a kettle, boiling a pan, trying to cook a dinner. Oh, yeah. 3 hours later, and I still haven't got through it all. And it's our 6-year anniversary today, so I've made.
Happy anniversary!
Yeah, I made a shepherd's pie. The old romantic that I am.
Did you need a container for that, or did you just believe it and it happened?
It just appeared. I thought about it, and it was there. It was done. Right, I'm gonna round up, guys. Anything you want to say before I go? Any plugs you want to give? Go on.
Yep. Get stuff.
Toady.
Gravity's not a force. That's the only thing you need to know.
Anon, anything you got to say, mate?
Just check out Jeranism, How Einstein Made Earth Move. You'll like it.
Okay, Chocolate, anything you got to say, guy?
No, man, it was a good one. As usual. So it was a good one. Good one.
Yeah, I'm just rounding up, Chucky. Is there anything you want to say?
Earth is flat. We don't live on a magical spinning water ball in a vacuum. That's ridiculous.
Cool. Right,
That's it.
That'll wrap the bootleg show up, I suppose.
There you go. Somebody got to say something. 1 second. Hold on.
do you have a religion of being on a ball? Heliocentrism is your religion.
That's not my religion.
Yeah,
Can
it
I
is.
try for a second?
It's a belief without
Highlander.
evidence. It's a belief without evidence.
Is that not what flat Earth is?
No, it's on
you get what
screen.
he's-
While I get Rumpus by Chocolate has also decided it's his time while I'm in the middle of a conversation.
It's so upset, doesn't he?
Enough as it is.
Fuck you, John.
Nathan gets so butthurt, doesn't he?
So yeah, check out. Yeah, I'll check that video out on Jeronism's channel. Yeah.
Hey, later, guys.
Yeah.
See you
later.
later.
See you later, everybody. Bye.